That's right. Break free. Loyal Flames. 104.5 Vibes Radio. Hashtag morning vibes. Kev Matado Tada the Beast, your local energy provider. A very good morning to you, Nairobi, Kenya. Good morning, Africa. Right now, tuko kwa mjadala Koto Public Opinion, the third hour of the show where we're having conversations and just trying to understand the state of the nation. And of course, I'm very excited because finally, my amazing guest, I'm checking Mr. Samwel Masaki. He's from the Office of the President. Ningependa leo yani tujue vitu from different perspectives, especially from the government's perspective. Karibu sana Samwel once again. Yes, and unajua sasa nilifungua phone lines just to pass the time as we were waiting for you kabla ukuje kwa the show. Kwa nasema now hii matamshi ya deputy president alikuwa nasema the people who will be awarded ama rewarded first ni watu walivotia serikali, na Wakenya wengi hawako comfortable na hizo matamshi because the government is for all people. When the president alingia vile pata power, immediately alibeba your sword. I remember very well he said he's not a president for Kenya Kwanza only, he's a president for all Kenyans. Sasa hii maneno ya positions surely tena imekuwa ya Kenya Kwanza peke yake.
I don't think that was, I think that was taken out of context. Kwa sababu ukiangalia there are people who actually were involved in these campaigns, okay, from the onset. So what you're only saying that you're only supposed to report your soul, okay? Yeah, siko baya but at least ungoje kwanza watu wale ambao walishughulika, wale walihangaika kutafuta serikali kupatiwa nafasi, alafu wewe ile kidogo itapatikana pia utapatiwa, hata kama uko qualified. Ngoja tu kidogo. Yes, kidogo tu, ngoja kidogo, because we also have people also qualified.
True.
They had a lot of sacrifices.
Yes.
They moved, they were in the campaigns.
Yes.
They sacrificed a lot for this formation of this government. We're only asking them that at least with that respect and decorum kidogo, waacha wale kwamba ambao walihangaika wapatiwe nafasi, alafu ile ambayo itabaki kidogo tutawapatia.
Sasa hiyo criteria inafanyikanga aje? Mnaandikanga list hivi, mnasema okay fine. I mean, how do you even now establish ati hao ni watu wetu?
No, you know, the space is I can say it's like a compound. You can easily know who are involved. Okay, the faces are very familiar.
But they mnajuana tu.
Mnajuana kama sisi tunajuana. You know, like the young people were in that space who have been involved in the campaign from way back after 2018. Those after handshake, we know ourselves. So even we know the other side, the young people on the other side. So we can be able to tell that huyu alikuwa hapa, huyu hakukua. So when you see a face that is not familiar, anapatiwa nafasi. Sasa unajua mtu anaanza kujiuliza, na huyu kwani alikuwa wapi? Sisi tulikuwa tunatafuta alikuwa wapi?
Hizi positions mostly zinakuanga kama gani? Maparastatus ama CAS mostly nini? Where are their opportunities mostly?
These are political appointments. These are political appointments, and they're more of board appointments. Unajua, these are contracts, board appointment, board members, board chairpersons. We are not talking about the permanent and pension, but these are contract works. Yeah, those are the ones that we really focus with the political appointments. Yeah.
Okay. I hope MVPs umesikia your clarification. Samwel, by the way, works at the Office of the President. Sasa kama kuna maswali pia unazinga hapo kwa #morningvibes and ask him so that apate ku clarify. You know, it's important for us to understand really what is going on from the government side, badala ya rumors mingi. Now, Samwel, acha nikupeleke kitambo sana, you know, to the days of our founding fathers. Unacheki? Nakumbuka President Jomo Kenyatta, the father of the nation, alikuwa anasema agenda yake ni 3: eradicate disease, ignorance, na akasema poverty pia.
Yes.
Now poverty, the opposite of poverty is prosperity. Right? Ukiangalia vitu right now kwa ground, na the economy specifically, the only way economy it makes sense, the only way this economy will grow is when Wakenya wana thrive, kuna prosperity kwa ground. Unaona si ati watu kiasi peke yake ndo wana thrive kwa kuna pesa. It is a sense of yani Wakenya wote across the board wanafeel yani kuna pesa kwa mfuko, kuna chakula kwa meza. That is the only way this economy will actually grow. Watoto wanakuwa nasoma fiti, parents wanaweza afford mambo ya school fees, uniform nini. But ukicheki about kituka 2-3 weeks ago tuliona report nyingine crazy sana where they were saying about 4,000 doctors have been rendered jobless. Bado wanatafuta makazi, and that is doctors peke yake, hata tuongee so the healthcare providers. Now, what is the problem? How do we have wasi wako skilled sana, qualified Kenyans, watu kama doctors 4,000 jobless, na tunajua vizuri sana watu wakipata makazi it will help with matters universal healthcare coverage. For example, Wakenya wengi watapata access to medical care, right? What is the problem? Is it a matter of priority? Governor, hapa labda let's focus on manufacturing, watu wengine labda wakae chini kiasi. What's going on? Because it seems as if Wakenya hawaelewi how we have important Kenyans like doctors, nini, bado hawana kazi.
I think the issues of doctors supposed to have been implemented long time ago, because you remember very well we had this agenda in 2017 a manifesto. You remember very well it was one of the pillars, universal health coverage, and implementation yake ilikuwa na shida kwa sababu tuliingiza siasa katikati. Ikatupoteza njia, we were not able to implement this. We will not be having this crisis as we are speaking now. So as one of the things that the government is trying to implement, and the president is so much focused, is also in the issue of health services and universal health care. But you see, we cannot be able to achieve it when we are not sitting down with the stakeholders. The stakeholders, these are the providers, health providers. And what I'm very sure of, there's a mechanism that the ministry is coming up in terms of going to be able to absorb all this. There's a plan. There's a plan for the doctors. Only that they need to give the government a little bit of time so that they can be able to come up with this mechanism. Because if you look, we had the issues of teachers, which has already been implemented. The 30,000 teachers that were supposed to be recruited have already been given that opportunity. So they're waiting to be allocated to the different schools. So that is ongoing. When we are done with the education sector, we are going to the health sectors. We are going to the agricultural sectors. So these sectors are all going to be priority of the government. Only that we need to allow government to be able to implement it pole pole. Kwa sababu already we only 3-4 months away from the election. So it is important also to patia serikali nafasi.
Kwa hivyo unasema watu wakwe patient kiasi.
So that the government can be able to achieve this.
Kwa sababu hii stuff imeshangaza sana watu. 4,000 doctors render jobless, na kulikuwa na hizo maruma za maybe gavana haina pesa juu ile story ya COVID billionaires. Let's switch some gears.
Yes.
Ukiangalia kwa State of the Nation magazeti leo wanaongea hii process ya disarmament inafanyika pale hivyo North Rift rather. Yes. Tunajua vizuri that the bandits may cause havoc sana the North Rift part of the country. Currently tumesikia operations ziko underway, military together with the Kenya police wako on the ground. Swali naweza kuuliza ni do you think hii serikali itakuwa successful when it comes to the disarmament process? Because number one, ukiangalia the previous governments, serikali ya Uhuru Kenyatta, Kibaki, and even for President Moi, this was an area where they really struggled kuhandle maneno ya disarmament. What will hii serikali ya Ruto, what will they do different now? And are they actually guaranteed of success? Kwa sababu clearly tulikuwa naona president alikuwa very disappointed na akasema the operation will be ruthless.
I think when we talk about disarmament, unaangalia vizuri, ukiangalia the process is ongoing and there's actually progress in that. On the past few days we have seen some of them actually surrendering these firearms to the security personnel in that region. The process is ongoing. We cannot start talking about the success of it when the process has just started.
And ilikuwa na base off from other governments.
Yes.
Walikuwa na fail, so what will be different now?
It has failed before, but we are in a different surrounding and environment, and things are changing. So we also trying to also come up with different mechanism of doing it, that even those who are going to surrender them, that there's an opportunity for them. Because mtu akisarenda, you're not either uchukue sheria ichukue mkono wake, ama ule ambaye atataka confront security personnel, that is when now you can be able, because these are people who are actually taking law to their arms. Ukiangalia vitu mingi ambayo wamefanya, and you see the whole of North Rift has been affected. So if this issue is not well handled with a lot of care, then we're going to have a lot of problems. That's why the government decided that we should be able to deploy the KDF personnel to be able to handle this issue, because these other security personnel wamejaribu, but kumekuwa na shida kubwa sana kuweza ku deal with these bandits, and we are losing a lot of security personnel. We are losing a lot of many people who are living in these areas,
especially young security personnel.
Yes. So this is an issue that the government is so much focused in handling, and I'm very sure we give the government latitude of time kidogo, they're going to have this process well taken care of.
What about the issue ya kusema nilikuwa nachiki kwa news jana, the people wako the locals who in the North Rift regions walikuwa nasema kuna kitu ya collective punishment. Unapata sasa KDF hata hawa differentiate nani ni ma locals na nani ndo bandits. Au wana punish tu kila mse, ukipatikana kwa njia hapo hivyo after curfew you're taken out. Unachekizi ndo mashida sasa malocals huko wako nazo. How will the government ensure that hii process imefanyika smoothly and wame identify kweli that hawa ni mabandits na hawa ni tu locals wa kawaida wanaendelea mabiashara zao, hakuna mambo ya malooting kwa maduka, because these are the reports that watu wa huko hivyo malocals wamekuwa kireport since time immemorial.
Of course, it comes with a lot of challenges. Implementation of such kind of measures comes with a lot of challenges, and some cannot be 100% effective because of here and there criteria. But it is important that the locals understand that for the government to be able to achieve its objective, especially with dealing with these bandits, of course these measures have to be taken. When we talk about the curfews, that at this time then you're supposed to be at home, so that those who are outside they can be able to be treated as some of these people, because ukiangalia mambo mingi ambayo inafanyika ya wizi wa ng'ombe ambayo imekuwa ikiendelea inafanyika usiku, not mchana. So if we can have curfew and this curfew is implemented to the full, and we consider those people outside that are bandits, in some way you're going to be able to achieve the success of dealing with this issue.
What about ile tumesikia maneno ya some politicians wamekuwa involved allegedly kwa maneno ya kufund bandits, sijui nini, tutaona ma prosecutions kweli ama hizi ni tu mambo ya siasa hizi, yani nothing will happen?
You know when you
if at all wamepatikana wako guilty,
the investigation are ongoing. I cannot be able to give the merits and demerits of it, but the investigation are ongoing. But what I can say that the government is going to take serious measures to the people who are actually involved in financing these bandits, the people who have actually been involved in educating even the radicalization that's been ongoing there, and giving these people opportunity to be able to involve themselves in this banditry. So that's why I can say that serikali inaenda kuchukua hatua kubwa sana kwa wale ambao wana finance bandits na wale ambao walikuwa wamekuwa involved, and you see these are very serious people. They are very serious group of politicians who have actually also been involved in this banditry. So if the government is going to have implementation na kuhakikisha kwamba wale ambao wanafadhili hawa, kwa sababu hizi mang'ombe ambazo zinachukuliwa, hiyo ndio swali ambalo liko nauliza, zinaenda wapi?
That's the question.
Na hizi na kuko na ile mazungumzo ambayo ilikuwa inaongelewa na former RC kwamba sisi watu wa Nairobi tunakula nyama, lakini hatujui mahali hizi nyama inatoka wapi.
Kweli
hatuwezi kujua pembe zake za hizi mifugo zinapelekwa wapi. So it is important to be able to dissect all this issue.
Alright.
So that we can be able to deal with the issues of banditry. Because if you are able to deal with the issue of markets, kwamba hizi soko ambazo ziko huko, tujue kwamba hizi mifugo ndio zinatolewa huko, zinaibwa, zinapeleka wapi?
That's the question.
Mali zitakuwa zinapelekwa hapo, ndio zinaanza serikali inaanza kufuatilizia, so that we can be able to deal with the issue of bandits.
So guys, this is #MorningVibes. We're hanging out with Samwel Masaki. He's from the office of the president, na tunaangalia tu maneno ya state of the nation. Kutakuwa na time ya maswali, ma comments as well. Remember 0719012700 is the number. This is Low Me by Savannah at 8:45. Good morning Kenya, twende kazi. Low Me, Savannah, 104.5 Vibes Radio, #MorningVibes. Kev Mataro Tada the Beast. Tuko kwa mjadala kuhusu public opinion, and I'm hanging out with Bwana Samwel Masaki, who is from the office of the president and UDA, the party, and he deals with matters youth. Na leo tunaongea yani situation ya hii state of the nation. Tumesha tackle story ya bandit attacks, tumeangalia mambo ya economy. Right now tunaingia history ya this place of church, the church in politics. Church na siasa. Tunakumbuka Bwana Samwel, sometime back, a couple of weeks ago, the president alikuwa anasema that the church in the state zinafaa kufunction pamoja. There shouldn't be a separation. Lakini pia kuna mafaiths mingi zingine surely. Why do you have to isolate the church peke yake unaipatia such importance? And what role does the church have ukiangalia kwa a democracy like Kenya? What role does it really have? What importance does the church have ukisema lazima wawake na state?
Church is a unifying factor. Yes. Because we use not necessarily because I think this issue has been taken out of context, especially with those people who are not really supportive of the idea that we as government, we are involving the religion and the church in our activities. They want to guide us on how we can be able to worship our God. And you see, that is not the case, because we understand the role of the church in the government. And we have been able to appreciate the many things that the church has been able to advise the government, especially in the issues of unity. Ukiangalia kanisa imetumika zaidi katika kuleta Wakenya pamoja, kuombea Kenya, kuombea nchi kwamba tukae kwa amani. Lakini mbona tuweze kuwa katika kanisa kabla ya uchaguzi? Tukipata serikali tuachane na kanisa, kwa nini? Unajua hiyo pia ni kujaribu kumhadaa Mwenyezi Mungu. Ni vyema kuwa pamoja na kanisa katika malengo ya serikali, so that we can be able to move forward and pray for the country.
Lakini tumeona wanasiasa kadhaa, especially from the government side, okay, wacha nisiongee isolate serikali peke yake from both divides.
Yes.
Wakibishana manzi, they're very aggressive hapo hivyo kwa platform ya church. Wanasema ni kwa sababu ya wale nini, so they're not really consistent with what the church believes in, which is unifying. Tumeona even from the government side, tumeona pale mabishano mingi sana.
Sidhani kama imekuwa mabishano. I think kuna ule wakati ambao umetengewa kanisa, na hiyo tumesema ni tunapatia nafasi kanisa ichukue, lakini lazima ufahamu kwamba mwanasiasa ni mwanasiasa. Huwezi separate mwanasiasa na ile kazi yake ya siasa. Kanisa imepatiwa nafasi yake. Na tumesema kama tunaendelea kama serikali, ni vizuri pia kanisa ipatiwe nafasi katika ile malengo ambayo serikali inajaribu kufanya. Pia tusiseme kwamba tuliendelea kufanya tu bila, lakini hatuko tunaweza kuconsult ama maneno ya Mungu katika affairs ya serikali. So it's the government, it's the church to be participating in activities of the government.
Na ukisema kuna politicians wenyewe, they don't really respect the fact that Kenya pia kuna religions zingine kama Wahindi, Muslims, atheists, na people who have different political alienations. Why do you have to focus on the church alone? Mbona tuoni Wahindi wakinvitiwa pale State House, atheists nini? Because clearly this is your State House kwanza, it's a unifying symbol of the state.
Lakini hatuwezi sema hivyo. I think hiyo ni mambo ambayo yamezungumziwa, lakini haujaangalia kwa uzuri, kwa sababu kuna kitu inaitwa interreligious faith ama interdenominational faith, ambayo imeleta yale zile church religions zote pamoja. Kuna Hindus, kuna Muslims, kuna Pentecostals, kuna Sabbath, all of them wamekuwa combined, wamewekwa pamoja na kwa hii inaitwa interfaith. Na ukiangalia kwa interfaith pia wamekuwa na ile committee yao ambayo inakuwa involved kwa affairs ya serikali. Ukiangalia kama kuna nominations, kama kuna ile involvement, I can use the example ya kuchagua kama commissioners, kama
IBC for example,
commissioners. Umeona kwamba interfaith imepatiwa nafasi ya kutoa mtu mmoja wawili kukuwa involved kwa affairs ya serikali. So hatuwezi sema kwamba ni church peke yake, hapana. I think hiyo imekuwa, it has been taken out of context. Yeah.
What impact does prayer have? Yes. I'm saying this ignorantly because I think mimi kama Mkristo I understand, but for the sake of Kenyans, what impact does prayer have when you say, sisi kama serikali we're praying for maneno ya natural disasters, reduce kiasi, when you have a bunch of Kenyans who are saying ni labda tamna plan?
I think those who worship and those who understand God knows how important he is in our life. And for us, as a part and parcel of the formation of this government, we understand the role of the church and the role of God in the culmination of the government that we have. And that's why even the other side, they now understand that there is a living God. Even them, you have seen even them, they're also coming up with these prayer services. their prayer requests. They also say they are going to pray at the IBC offices. You see, they understand.
Yeah.
If they will not understand, they will not have be able to come up with such kind of agenda.
We didn't see countries like Dubai wakiombea wakiombea mvua, and then they're very developed, and it's in a desert. We didn't see them having prayer sessions surely wakiombea development. Countries kama Israel nini. Why Africa hapa Kenya surely?
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
If you go to this country, you understand that they really understand religion.
Okay.
They're dominantly Muslims. Okay. As their countries, these countries, you understand kwamba they have even time for prayers. Ukiangalia huko, ukienda kwa zile mikutano zao, utapata wakati wa maombi wanatoka nje, wanaenda kwa msikiti, wanaomba. They understand the role of their God. Even us, we also understand. It's only an ignorant person who will say there's no God. Even the Bible says so. Yeah. It's only an ignorant person who will say there's no God. So why do you want to dictate to people the way they want to worship? Si wache sisi tuombe Mungu vile sisi tunamjua, kwa sababu sisi tunajua mahali ametutoa.
Okay.
Sindio?
Yes,
we have prayed that, and we understand that God we worship is going to give us rain. These are issues beyond our imagination.
True.
But when we pray to God and we believe kwamba anaenda kutenda, kwamba hizi vitu zitafanyika.
Hivyo nadhani Mungu atatuletea mvua soon.
He's going to do
because of the prayers of the government.
We understand God is going to do it for us.
Yes. Okay. Tuongee siasa.
Yes.
Tumechiki politicians from the opposition, Azimio, wamekuwa kienda pale State House. We have about 8 MPs from ODM. Tumeona wengine wa Jubilee wakienda hapo hivyo. Now the question I have over here is number one. Is it possible to say that the government wanna try kurudisha this country into a one-party state? Because President mwenyewe alikuwa anasema that he wants to work with a strong opposition, but clearly an deflate opposition. Why do you have to always reach out to the opposition? Why can't you let the opposition function kama unit tu kivyao, so that they can hold the government in check? Checks and balances hizo maneno, lakini kila mara tunaona watu wanaenda ile side. You're weakening the opposition surely.
But why is it being dictators? Ukiangalia when you're meeting people are meeting even for development. It doesn't have to be politics. These are leaders. We have said we are unifying the whole country. We have all the leaders. We're welcoming all the leaders across board to discuss the issues of the common mwananchi, to discuss the issue that can be able to elevate the country in terms of the economy, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of agriculture, in terms of the unemployment that we are facing today. Okay, so when people are meeting, when leaders are meeting, they are also meeting their president, because we only have one president. We don't have two presidents. We only have one president. They are discussing the issues to development. We have let the issues of politics be handled at the areas of politicians and in the areas like parliament. When they go to State House, the people are discussing about the issues of development. So let's differentiate that, because that is the issue that I think that issue has not been handled very well.
If it's about development, I can easily say, for example, as an MP or a governor, there are funds for me. There are funds. I have no business talking to the president. Whether the president works with me or not, pesa itafika kwa ground kwa sababu ya mambo kama CDF. So surely, are you being sincere ukiambia wa Kenya hapa, this is just about development? Maybe you just want to weaken the opposition because kuna CDF. Governors have their own funds, surely. What is this business of saying?
But let me tell you something. There's interdependence and of these institutions. Okay? There's interdependence, and also there's working together between the national government and the county governments and the parliament. So you cannot say that just because you have been given the CDF, you cannot be able to meet your president and discuss the issues that affect your locals. Of course, there are issues that have been being handled by the national government.
That's right.
Okay? So if you go to meet the president to discuss the issues concerning your constituency that are being undertaken by the national government, that will be a problem. Is that a problem to you? Maybe not. So if we are meeting today, I think the opposition needs to be able to mature up. Yes, they need to mature up and understand that there are issues of politics and there are issues of development, which has to be differentiated for us to move forward as a country. We are not against the opposition. And we are saying in any mature democracy, okay, we should have an active opposition which will be able to do the count, the checks and balances.
Okay,
we will not refuse that. Yes.
Wacha tusikie mambo ya news, and then in the next hour we'll touch on Matiangi story, a bit of politics, as we call it a day. Kumbuka, right now it's 9 a.m. Let's listen to what Dennis said to have to tell us paneno ya news, and then in the next hour we'll continue this conversation courtesy of Samwel Masaki. Good morning, twende kazi.
Feel the rhythm, feel the vibe. Vibes Radio.
This is the Modern Vibes on Vibes Radio.
Yes, Identity, Burning Spear 104.5 Vibes Radio. Good morning. It's 9:15 right about now. I hope muko fiti. Tunamalizana na hii conversation with our brother Samwel. Yes, Samwel Masaki. He is from, of course, the office of the president at the UDA office. Tunamalizana na conversation in State of the Nation. And Samwel, there's an issue hapa hivi, there's an issue that Kenyans have been really bothered about. Hii sasa hii maneno ya serikali walikuwa metuma huko hivyo, the security agencies stormed into the house of the former interior CS Matiangi. Imagine somebody as big as Matiangi nyumba yake inabombolewa. Sasa hii ni political persecution kusema tu kweli. Hii ni vengeance, because we know very well relationship yenye Matiangi alikuwa nayo na the former DP who is our president now. Yeah? Is it DE? Is it revenge ama hii ni nini?
There's nothing like revenge. I think everything was very clear, and I think that's why the law. These are people who are always seeking sympathy.
Sympathy.
Yes, this is someone who is trying to seek sympathy, but he's not going to get, because you see, we asked for them to provide the CCTV footage. They could not be able to provide. So and you see, this is why we want to move away. Let them not involve the police in such kind of dramas. Okay, that's why the DCI has been very clear and say that it's going to follow up on this issue to the latter, so that we can be able to identify who is speaking the truth. Okay, because you cannot be able to come up and say that someone is following you when there's nothing to be followed about. Okay, if they say the guilty are always afraid. Yes. The guilty are always afraid.
Lakini Samuel, we are Kenyans, we are smart guys. Tusidanganyane hapa. Mara ngapi tumechiki kwa rally, even the deputy president, hata president mwenyewe akisema, waliteseka sana in the hands of the former regime. Waliteseka. Kwanza huyo Matiangi huyo Matiangi. Sasa, how does it surprise you? Does it surprise Kenyans that he's the first on the list? Kwa maneno ya sijui nyumba yake makarao walikuwa wameenda huko hivyo usiku, sijui nyumba imebomolewa, security of the former president imekuwa reduced, as we just look at things from surface level, he need revenge.
No, I don't think that is revenge in any way. But even if you are speaking in that context, when it was happening to someone like Miguna, it was right. Okay? So what we're trying to say is trying to have balance in everything that we do. Even as leaders, we should be able to have balance. We should be able to hold ourselves accountable. Because today you have the position, tomorrow you will not have it. And someone is going to hold you accountable of that position.
So is it possible that the former CS akona information ingine labda
if the investigation is still on, and they say the DCI was very clear that if it's an issue that is under investigation, until you are called upon, you'll be summoned. And you see, it is out of respect. You are given a summon to come and explain on certain on various issues. So I don't think there's any problem. It's not something that is special. That when someone has been asked to come and record a statement on a certain issue,
the opposition wame-politicize the matter.
This thing has been over-politicized, not even politicized, over-politicized, because when it was before, when other people were being summoned during the last 5 years, we saw many people, many leaders who were being even arrested day and night, without even summons. You see, that's what we want to move away. We have said there's independence of the Ministry of Interior, there's independence of the police, so that they can be able to do their work effectively. If there's an issue that is under investigation, let the investigation be conclusive, and if someone is found guilty, then the law will take its course.
Asante sana.
So I don't think there's any something that should be actually taken out of context. Kama mtu alifanya makosa, yeye sheria itafuata mkono wake. You can run, but you cannot hide.
No matter status yake, sheria lazima ita catch up.
Yes. So there were so many things imefanyika before. Iko watu walifanya mambo mingi, iko watu walivunja sheria. When these things catch up with you, that is ni sheria inaamua. And that's why we are following the judiciary, we are following the courts. You will be taken to the court process. Hakuna mtu atashikwa apeleke wapi, hapana. There's a court process. That court process is what is being followed. There's investigation process, that is what is being followed. So people should relax. Okay, the opposition should relax and let the law take its course.
Bwana Sama Masaki, I know you usually deal with mambo ya youth, and I'm very happy because sasa najua mavijana wameelewa exactly what is happening kutoka from the government's perspective. Mimi nataka tu tupatie assurance.
Yes.
Opportunities will come about. Sindo?
For the young people?
Yeah, of course. Ya mavijana. Kwa sababu kwa ground ni normal, man.
I'm telling you, the government is working day and night. Our president is working day and night to ensure that it's going to create opportunity for everyone and equally. Not selective, equally for everyone. The issues are being addressed, the issues of agriculture, they're going to create a lot of opportunity for young people. The issues of housing, affordable housing, which you have said the government have already started the pilot project. These are going to create opportunity for young people.
But they used to real housing. How do, for example, kama kuna kijana huko hivyo nje na anadai take part in that process, that project, what is he supposed to do?
I think the application are going to be on the website. That the people with the requirements be able to make the application, because we have said we want to give this opportunity to young people, especially the graduates who have been able to graduate. They don't have opportunity to work. The government is going to give them enough space.
Requirement ni ID tu ama lazima kuwe na papers vitu kama hizo mashule.
Of course they are skilled and those are unskilled.
Okay.
Both of them will be required in this project. Hawezi sema tu kwamba utachukua wale technocrats ambao wanasimamia projects ama those are that have the papers and not the unskilled. The unskilled are also required in terms of this project. So this and it's going to be in each and every ukiangalia in each and every county. Kwamba there's a project for the affordable housing that the government that is initiating, so that the young people can be able to be involved. We are also talking about the agriculture. Agriculture, also young people to be involved, especially in terms of the support of that we're giving the farmers, the inputs, farm inputs that the government is giving the farmers. These are able to support the farmers, so that we can be able to have many young people involved in the activities of the government, so that we can be able to elevate ourselves from the youth unemployment that we have today.
Asante sana Bwana Samwel Masaki from the Office of the President and UDA as well.
Yes.
You've been dealing with matters youth. Na tunaku appreciate sana for, giving us a different perspective. Na tuelewe tu nini na happen, of course, from the government side. Asante sana. And guys, remember, kama kuna maswali, wanadai ku reach out to Bwana Samwel, wanaweza kupata kwa social media aje by the way?
I'm on every social media platform. I'm on TikTok.
Hadi TikTok
TikTok is kila mtu siku hizi.
Mimi siko TikTok by the way.
Niko TikTok. Mimi ni Honorable Masaki TikTok. Instagram Honorable Masaki Samwel. Facebook Honorable Masaki Samwel. And all of them have it's official. Okay. So I don't have any other pseudo accounts that are operating there.
Kwa hivyo watu wanaweza reach out, maswali, nini opportunities.
Let's engage. Let the young people try to reach us, so that we can be able to see how we are going to support the government.
Sawa.
So that we can be able to achieve our mandate and our promises that we made to Kenyans.
Asante sana Samwel.
Yes.
You have a good day today and God continue to bless you.
Asante sana. Thank you for hosting me. Na najua next time I'll be sitting there sasa kama DJ.
Utachapia hapa hivi za magospel. Unajua hizo serikali yenu ni ya prayer.
Kabisa, tutachapia gospel za kina Rose Muhando. Yes, Bahati Bukuku hizo sasa ndio zetu.
Noma. Asante sana. Thank you so much. Tunarudi hapa hivi by the way rhythm itakwenda go down in a bit. Nimekushow bana. It's all about the Kush morning rhythm. Lines will be open on 0719012700 right now at 23 minutes after 9. Busy signal. Perfect spot with the local energy provider. Twende kazi. Good morning, Kenya.